Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. DTC P0463 indicates a problem with the fuel level sensor, specifically the fuel gauge sending unit circuit, reporting high voltage. This diagnostic trouble code is particularly relevant for Honda HR-V models produced between 2016 and 2022. The fuel level sensor is designed to monitor the volume of fuel in the tank, delivering real-time data to the vehicle's engine control module, ECM. The ECM then processes this data to display fuel levels accurately on the dashboard gauge. In this scenario, the circuit has detected a voltage level that exceeds expected values, prompting this specific DTC to trigger. Understanding the components involved is crucial for effective troubleshooting and repair. DTC P0463 indicates high voltage in the fuel level sensor circuit due to a malfunction of the fuel gauge sending unit. The fuel gauge sending unit is located within the fuel tank and is responsible for measuring the fuel level. It transmits this information to the gauge control module, which then displays the fuel level on the dashboard. An accurate fuel reading is essential for driver awareness and fuel management. Additionally, the gauge control module, located beneath the dashboard, is integral for interpreting the sensor data and driving the vehicle's fuel gauge needle. High voltage readings may result from a short circuit or wiring issues, leading to potential inaccurate fuel level indications. There are several potential causes for DTC P0463 that need to be considered during the troubleshooting process. One common issue is an electrical short circuit within the wiring, which can cause excessive voltage to be transmitted from the fuel gauge sending unit. Another possible cause is damaged or frayed wiring in the harness connecting the gauge control module and the fuel tank unit, which compromises the data communication. Additionally, a faulty gauge control module may incorrectly interpret signals from the fuel gauge sending unit, resulting in miscommunication of the fuel level. Identifying the root cause is crucial for effective repair and to avoid future issues. When DTC P0463 is triggered, drivers may notice several symptoms that indicate an underlying issue. One of the most prominent symptoms is inaccurate fuel gauge readings, where the gauge may show full or empty, regardless of the actual fuel level. This can cause uncertainty about fuel levels and lead to unexpected fuel shortages. Additionally, the check engine light may illuminate on the dashboard, signaling a need for diagnostic evaluation. In some cases, running the engine with incorrect fuel level information may cause performance issues, as the engine control module relies on accurate readings for optimal performance management. Being aware of these symptoms can help drivers act swiftly to address potential problems. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0463 involves verifying the problem using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Begin by turning the vehicle to the on mode, which activates the electronic systems necessary for diagnostics. Next, utilize the HDS to clear the existing DTC. This action resets the system, allowing for fresh readings. After clearing, wait approximately 5 seconds before checking for any pending or confirmed DTCs. If DTC P0463 reappears, it indicates a persistent issue that requires further examination. Conversely, if there are no DTCs present, the issue may be intermittent, leading to the recommendation of checking for loose connections or poor terminals at both the gauge control module and the fuel tank unit. The second troubleshooting step focuses on checking the fuel gauge line for any open circuits. Start by turning the vehicle off, placing it in lock mode for safety. Next, carefully remove the gauge control module, which is typically located behind the dashboard. Following that, disconnect the fuel tank unit's 4P connector, along with the gauge control module's 32P connector. Connect terminals A and B with a jumper wire, targeting terminal number 4 from the fuel tank unit 4P connector and body ground. With this setup, measure the continuity between the gauge control module's terminal number 18 and body ground. If continuity is confirmed, it indicates that the circuit is intact and allows you to proceed to the next troubleshooting step. For the third troubleshooting step, focus on the fuel gauge plus line. After completing the previous check, the next action involves disconnecting the jumper wire previously used from the fuel tank unit 4P connector. Set up a new jumper wire to connect terminals A and B, specifically targeting terminal number 2 of the fuel tank unit 4P connector and body ground. Similar to the previous step, check for continuity between gauge control module's terminal number 11 and body ground. This test ensures proper communication through the fuel gauge plus line. If continuity is confirmed, you will move on to evaluate the fuel gauge sending unit itself. On the other hand, if there is no continuity, an open in the fuel gauge plus wire likely exists, necessitating repairs. The fourth and final troubleshooting step involves directly testing the fuel gauge sending unit. After ensuring that both previous jumper wires are disconnected, examine the operational status of the fuel gauge sending unit. This inspection involves assessing its functionality to confirm whether it reports accurate fuel levels. If the sending unit is found to be functional and operating correctly, it suggests that the gauge control module may be the root cause of the trouble code, and in that case, it should be replaced. Conversely, if the fuel gauge sending unit fails the operational test, it confirms that this component needs to be replaced. Proper testing ensures that only faulty parts are addressed, saving time and resources during repairs. Once all repairs have been made, it's essential to verify that the issues have been resolved effectively. Begin by clearing any DTCs with the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to reset the onboard computer. Following this reset, conduct a test drive under various conditions to ensure the fuel gauge functions accurately and consistently. Pay attention to how the fuel level readings behave, making sure they reflect the actual fuel levels in the tank. Confirm that no new DTCs appear during this process, particularly DTC P0463. If everything appears normal, the repair can be deemed successful, reinstating both the gauge control module and fuel tank unit as functional components. Preventive maintenance plays a vital role in avoiding the recurrence of DTC P0463. Regular inspections of the fuel gauge sending unit and associated wiring can help catch potential issues before they escalate. Checking all electrical connections periodically ensures that terminals remain secure and free of corrosion or damage. It's also essential to monitor fuel levels consistently to identify any unusual behavior of the gauge. By tracking changes and irregularities, drivers can manage their fuel levels more effectively and seek timely repairs when needed, thereby enhancing overall vehicle reliability and performance. In summary, DTC P0463 signifies high-voltage issues related to the fuel level sensor within Honda HR-V models from 2016 to 2022. A detailed troubleshooting approach is necessary to identify the root cause, whether it be related to wiring, the gauge control module, or the fuel gauge sending unit itself. Each step taken during this process aims to ensure the reliability and accuracy of fuel level reporting in the vehicle. Additionally, implementing regular preventive maintenance can help mitigate future occurrences of this trouble code. Overall, understanding the components, potential causes, and repair procedures is invaluable for maintaining your Honda HR-V's performance and functionality. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.